Before I begin, I just want to express my immense gratitude for the invitation and opportunity to be here today with everybody. It is an honor to represent my family, my tribe, as well as myself. I also want to say hi to my mom, who's watching the live stream. But I'm going to begin by introducing myself in my people's language. This is just protocol, proper mannerisms for us. And so, Cheyenne Tamon, hello. Chahochifget, Cheyenne Kippenberger Kotum, Yaketishet Chahochifget Ethotum, Anyatathet Kuwa Thotum, Seminole Kotumlet, Chilean Kotumlet, Joe Kippenberger Kun Oshtek Kotumlet, Susan Kippenberger Kun Omwashotum, Lowana Osceola Kun Ompushotum. My name is Cheyenne Kippenberger. My Indian name is Ethet, which means fire, and was given to me by my Ampujet, my paternal grandmother, the matriarch of my family. I am the daughter of Joe and Dr. Susan Kippenberger and the granddaughter of Lowana Osceola. My family is of the Panther Clan. I am a proud Chilena Americana, and I'm a proud citizen of the Seminole tribe of Florida. I descend from a beautiful people that for many, many generations, long before the existence of the United States of America, has called this land their home. A people that has lived in harmony with and held respect for the natural balance of one of the most biodiverse and unique environments in the entire world, the Florida Everglades. A people that has survived an almost 100-year war, Andrew Jackson's Indian Removal Act, racial violence and hatred, being hunted and treated as primitive, savage beings, rounded up like cattle, and relocated to areas destined for starvation and death. But we never surrendered. My people are survivors of attempted genocide. Today, we stand as a proud community, having never signed a peace treaty with the US government, culturally rich and thriving. We recognize and honor the decisions and the prayers made by our ancestors in the face of survival that made it so that we could be here today. We speak Ilapunget, our language. We wear our traditional clothing. We gather for ceremony. We create and craft with materials from the land. We play our traditional game of stickball. And we sing and dance to our traditional songs together. All across Indian country, Native and Indigenous people are reclaiming our traditional ways of life. We are wielding our tribal sovereignty, and we are empowering our future generations through education and culture. I ask you to recognize the legacies of violence, of migration, of displacement that has taken place in the name of settler colonialism. Recognize the abuse and the damage the land has endured for us to live the way that we do today. Everything holds life and value. The animals, the plants, the trees, the soil. Everything holds value and life. The same respect that we extend to other people is the exact respect that we have also extended to our animal and plants relatives since time immemorial. It is part of the way we live and the way that we view the natural world, that we are not above any one thing or being, but that we are one part of the natural balance of the world that is life, exchange, and death. And that exchange that I refer to is reciprocity, the taking of an animal's life for food and nutrition for our people, using the trunk of a tree to create our homes, picking our traditional medicines, but not over-harvesting to allow for regrowth. We never commodified or understood our right to be ownership over the natural resources that the land provides for us. Our responsibility as stewards was to take as needed and to care for the land as a fellow relative. Native and Indigenous people still honor this responsibility today. All across the country and the globe, Indigenous people are on the front lines of climate change, advocating for policies that protect our natural resources and the land, fighting to protect sacred sites and for our rights to access those sites. You are also relatives to the land, to the water, to the air, to the animals, and the plants. This responsibility, this duty, is not only held by us. This is all of our home. This is all of our lives at risk. Just as I am a community member and held responsible and accountable to my community, my tribe, we are all community members and accountable to our global society today. I ask you today to challenge the individualistic colonial mindset that we have been conditioned into over hundreds of years, and to connect with nature, with community, and with the collective that we are all a part of. To genuinely acknowledge the land, we must connect with the land. Feel the soil and the plants all around you and underneath you. Acknowledge the live beings that were taken, whose lives were taken for us to have food and nourishment. Acknowledge the sun rising with every morning and the moon that greets us every evening. Take a moment to connect. Take a moment of appreciation. Respect and value the traditional practices and knowledge of Indigenous peoples. And recognize it as the legitimate scientific knowledge that it is. The knowledge and understandings that we hold do not come from degrees or peer-reviewed writings, but from thousands of years of coexistence and observation. These knowledges extend across spirituality, medicine, ecology, epistemologies, ontologies, and axiologies. It is held in our languages, our songs, our values, our homelands, and it is passed down intergenerationally. There is a teaching held amongst many tribal nations, and that teaching is that of the 7 generations. We understand that every decision that we make will affect the next 7 generations to come. How will what we do today impact society, technology, the environment, philosophy, and politics? This way of thinking is done through active practice, but also through challenging dominant narratives and perspectives all around us, influencing us. True progress can be defined in the efforts to create an inclusive and equitable society, combating erasure, dismantling systemic racism, teaching authentic and accurate histories in our schools to our young people, ensuring that all people have equal access to resources, to opportunities and rights. This is all community work. When we can have meaningful exchanges rooted in respect and understanding and openness, and we can be positively exposed to new perspectives, to new experiences and cultures, we can shed those limiting beliefs that hold us back as a society. And instead, we can transcend the boundaries of our individual knowledge. And in turn, we become better community members to one another. And we better contribute to our own respective sectors and disciplines across education and medicine and politics. The Western ways of being, doing, thinking, and even feeling are all around us. It has influenced every area of our world and our lives. And unless we can build a cognizance to it and actively reject it, we can be limiting ourselves, limiting our capacities to understand, to view, and even to be curious. Everyone in them holds the transformative power to make the world a better place for future generations. Everyone in them has purpose and a means of contribution. Everything and everyone holds value. And when we lead with love, love for our community, love for our lands, and love for ourselves, we live a life that honors our existence, a life that honors future generations, a life that honors the generations that came before us. We, as Native and Indigenous people, have always known health to be embedded into the fabric of our culture and ways. We know wellness to be an interconnection of nature, community, and tradition. And a community is as strong as its individual community members. When our people are happy and healthy and thriving, so are our communities. But our battles are not light. We are facing addiction. We are facing suicide, cultural preservation, protecting the environment, intergenerational traumas, equity, poverty, protecting our bodily and mental health. All of our respective communities face these challenges. But we are not powerless. Our greatest medicine, our greatest tool exists amongst all of us. It is community. It is us. Let the collective vision for our minds, our bodies, and our lands connect us all together and drive us to be the architects of the future that we deserve. May Indigenous and Native communities be the proof that culture, nature, and community is the strongest medicine that we hold as humans. Together, these three things are powerful. And despite colonial violence and displacement, my people are here. Our language is spoken every day. And with it, our traditions, our worldviews, our lives continue to be passed on to the next generations. The legacies of displacement and violence, they are not the dominant legacies. It is the legacies of love and harmony from my ancestors that are the dominant legacies. And just as Native and Indigenous communities are not a monolith, neither is our planet. She is bold, and she is biologically diverse, and she is fierce. And efforts to protect that diversity calls for diverse solutions. We need one another to achieve the harmonious mutualism with our planet. We need one another to forge that inclusive equity society that we deserve. We can learn from one another across cultures and countries and generations and teachings. We can do that together. We can uplift and support one another because we are each other's greatest advocates and allies. We are community. May we all be mindful and intentional of the world that we leave for future generations. May we all strive to live healthy lives led by love and nature and community. May we leave legacies of hope, of kindness and understanding. And may we all do our part as community members to protect the planet, to empower our future generations, and to uphold the virtue that is in each and every one of us. Humanity. Binabashat, Mado, gracias, and thank you.